My presentation is about reading. It's not visual, but reading. It is go hand in hand with the visual learning. Understanding the Preservice teacher's reading path through a lens of one self-report assignment. Let's see. Okay. We intended to explore the Preservice teacher's reading path of becoming a reading through a self-report class assignment. And we will discuss the implications and the importance of fostering the development of the reading habits of students and the school teachers. We all understand how important it is for reading habits, for good reading habits. And that's why we want to see how our students preserve teachers' reading habit. The reading habits of teachers can affect pedagogical practice in the classroom. It is given the teaching of reading requires the application of specialized knowledge in reading as well as passion for reading. Such knowledge and passion could make a difference in the students' learning to read and the reading to learn process. In this study, we address 3 questions. Do the Preservice teachers read? If so, what do they read? Then how often do they spend time reading? And we are curious about this. Mississippi Delta, this is a largely rural and agricultural region where 97% of the African Americans reside in the central 10 counties. And the Mississippi Valley State University is located in the center of Mississippi Delta. The local public schools are underfunded. Reading levels in these schools fall below state and national standards. Each time we go to literacy council meeting, the department, education department for meeting, they will pinpoint, hey, we are performing well. However, because of your school districts drag the leg, pull our grade or performance down. We are 2 grade levels behind the Mississippi State, and the Mississippi is 2 grade level behind the national level. This is where we are. And we believe providing teachers of reading with evidence-based skills and knowledge is one way to improve Mississippi Delta students' reading performance. And even though we ask that whatever subject you teach, you are the reading teacher first. You have to help them using language to help them understand the questions. What physics, chemistry, whatever the subject is. The importance of reading habits for teachers, we believe that avid reading teachers send a strong message to children that reading is important and enjoyable. Here, this is, we even conducted a study on our own, which we published 2016, that reading teachers' reading habit is so critical because they serve as a model to develop interest. This is the beginning step to develop interest of reading. Well, in the past 30 years, educators investigated the association between reading teachers' reading habit and the pedagogical practice in reading. It is widely included that avid reading teachers send a message to children and how reading is important and enjoyable and help them learn their subject areas matters. And Moore wrote that teachers who read much would present a more positive and enthusiastic model than those who read little. of course. And has concluded that in the investigating habits of secondary school teachers, and teachers need to be role models. Children read more when they see other people read. This is obvious. And love of reading send a strong message to children that reading is important for the rest of their life. And what do teachers read? Both fiction, literature, and information texts are important. And teachers could take advantage of children's books, the vast range of excellent children's literature. This is number one because it has connection with their students. And Newbery model books, the categorize model, and all of these informational award books. This is all available in public school libraries. Keeping abreast of a children's book help teachers keep up to date on what is available for students and make instant recommendation to students on quality books. And because for my personal experience, I don't have time to read all because every day there are new books published. So I always use this award-winning books first. Not only that, Hassan found that teachers could read newspapers and visiting websites even, and academic books of their respective disciplines, non-academic reading materials, magazines, newspapers of any recreational reading materials would help develop reading passion and help. Let's see. To investigate the relationship between teachers who are avid readers and their instructional practice, Michael and the GasPass surveyed 65 elementary school teachers. They found that teachers who are readers themselves are more likely to engage in instructional practice that model their own passion for reading. So this is very good to model what they like, what passion they have. Now, for this study, we collected 36 students' assignments from 2 classes that Preservice teachers were required to complete in the reading literacy-related courses during the academic year 2022 and 2023 from our university, actually. This group of students predominantly composed of African-American students, with 3% of a Caucasian student and 3% of Asian student. Gender distribution is that 94% of students are female and 6% of the students are male. All students are at junior and senior level and enrolled in the elementary education program, EPP. The assignment asked the Preservice teachers to self-report their growth in reading skills. They were asked to include information such as a depiction of the town where they grew up, how they learned to read, how they like to read in their leisure time, and if they could change one thing in their reading or language class when they were in K-12 classroom, what would that be? We used the case study design to conduct this research because we wanted to capture individual differences among students in depth and detail, holistically, and in context. And the case study design allow us to conduct in-depth exploration of system bounded by time and place. This study approach particularly fit into our setting. Findings. How do they learn to read? This is our students' response. Taught by grandparents, 11%, by mom, 22%, siblings, 5%, relatives, 5%, at school. Okay, at school, 57%. You can see they don't receive much literacy exposure at home. You can see easily. Okay, I have 5 minutes. And how do they like to read? The majority of the students, 86%, claim they like to read. The rest said, I never like to read. I never enjoy reading. And I read because I have to. This is their response in their assignment. How often do they read? Daily, 25%. I believe this group of students may mention by reading textbook, they call it reading. Even though we specify this is a lateral time, you read personal reading materials. 2 weeks, 25%, within 2 months, 11%, 6 months, over a year, do not read at all, 11%. Mention the books. They like these books, and this is, you can see the list of the books and the books they read. Okay. The students wish one thing to change when they were in K-12 setting. It is very obvious, and most mentioned areas are sitting. They don't like that. We continue to use the traditional sitting. It's not some circle easier for students to communicate. No. Teaching approach to vocabulary. They want to be taught the vocabulary. They want reading options, and they want their teachers to make reading more fun and interactive. They don't want to be called when they were not ready to respond to teachers' questions. It's a very good point. Okay, normally we try to call those to draw their attention, but they don't like to be called when they are not ready. Books that they choose to read are somewhat culturally bound. Mostly African-American characters or authors, and writing about Southern this setting. Within the realm of a book selection, a significant consideration among this demographic of students is the renaissance with their personal experience and their personal connections, of course. And none of the students read daily for very stated reasons. Reading habits should be nurtured when very young, even before they go to school. Hands-on activities and trips such as museum trips and exploration are important to content learning. And none of them mentioned that they went for museums and sites visit. None of them. The results imply that the teacher education preparation programs need to address and nurture the personal reading habits of students in the reading, literacy, and language arts courses throughout the programs. That the schools and the school districts need to foster development of reading habits of faculty to enhance K-12 students' reading and learning outcomes. Sometimes we talk about this, and we hope that during planning period or every once a week, principal could assign their faculty, hey, here's a 30 minutes, pick up your own favorite books and read to see if later on they should help them develop their reading habits. And I think this is my Well, additional studies of the measures and the quantitative examination of the pre-service teachers' reading habits should be beneficial. This is qualitative. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And you can also reach me at ywng@mlbsu.edu. Thank you. Any questions?